Oh my god, I hit him in the head.
What's up Nerfers, and welcome back to my channel, where I test blasters like this one outdoors in real world conditions to bring you the results that I want to know. This is the new successor to the old Aeon Pro, dubbed the Aeon Pro X. It's a mag-fed, top prime pistol blaster, although it is pretty oversized for a pistol, and it's sold on Walmart toy store shelves in the USA for only $25. Straight out of the box, it only shoots half-length darts and also comes with some Nerf rifling, making it a very affordable, half the price of the Nexus Pro option, introducing brand new Nerfers over in the USA to accurate Nerf blasters. Now, the cheapest I could find this for here in Australia is 100 kangaroos, but luckily for me, this was sent to me thanks to Frontline Foam in the USA as a special request, who once again failed to disappoint with the funny post-it notes on the box aimed at Australian Border Force. Now, I 100% think this is worth $25 US, but is it worth more than that? I'll answer that question and more as I put it through its paces in a chrono test, maximum range test and accuracy test, but first an overview beginning with the build quality.
The Aeon Pro X is made of nice and solid injection molded plastic. The only part that really has any flex to it at all is the grip, and just like on the Nexus, you can undo the screws on that and swap it for a real steel AR grip if you prefer. You will have to carefully tap the thread yourself through the plastic because there's nothing done for you out of the box. Now, unlike my Nexus, the Aeon actually had a decent air seal out of the box. Plugging the barrel and pulling the trigger, it holds air for quite a while. So there must be some variations in build quality between different units. You might get one with a seal, you might get one with a bad seal. If you do want to see how to improve that, I will have an upcoming mod guide specifically for the Nexus, but you can apply that to this too. The barrel itself is recessed inside of a plastic muzzle, preventing you from using most forms of Nerf rifling. However, included in the box is an injection molded 6-groove P-car that you can shove in backwards for an accuracy boost, and I'll test that later on in the video. The side rails are useful for attachments like a flashlight or a GoPro camera, and those rails can also be removed with 2 screws, revealing M-lock slots underneath if you have attachments for those. There's another pick rail up top where you could attach the included front iron sight. For a kid's toy, the side picture isn't really that bad, but keep in mind that while your hand is on the top slide, it blocks your view entirely. One idea that I had is adding a red dot sight up front on a tall riser, and that would allow you to see over the top of your own hand, and it's what I'll be using for the accuracy test later on. For all of my gameplay though, I just winged it and didn't really aim the blaster properly. When you're pulling back on that top prime, the spring has some decent weight to it. In fact, I think younger kids could actually struggle to prime this blaster. But for those with the strength, there's a nice raised part at the rear to catch your hand on as you prime it back. There's a smaller ridge up front to close it again, and there's texturing on the slide to help with grip. Once that breech is closed, it has an internal lock so that you can point the blaster up in the air and it won't accidentally come open until you fire it. Just in case you ever do need to override that lock though, there is a small square button up on the top slide which will release it. At the bottom, just like on the Nexus, there's double mag release levers. You can either pull the small one at the rear with your trigger hand or push the forwards one with your offhand while swapping mags. The included mag holds 12 shots, but the Aeon is Talon compatible, so I'd recommend either 15 or 18 shot Talons instead. Also included in the box are exactly 12 AF Pro darts, enough to load the included mag once. For the accuracy test and range test, I'll be comparing them against Worker Heavy darts, which I've found to be the best performing darts on the market. Now, how's the trigger pull?
So there's a bit of slack, then you hit a wall, but because it's made of plastic, there is some flex before it actually fires. Again, hit what feels like a wall, then it's just the plastic flexing until it fires.
If you hold down the trigger, just like on the Nexus, this blaster also has slam fire. Handy for close ranges where aiming isn't really required, though I never actually found myself using it in any of the gameplay. Above the trigger, there's a safety switch. Pushed in from the left is safe, and from the right is fire. And coming to the rear, there's an end strike attachment point for Nerf brand toy buttstocks. That's pretty good for compatibility with any other blasters your kids might already own. However, from a hobby grade Nerf perspective, I can't actually remember the last time I even had a blaster with one of these, and these days I don't think I even have any stocks to suit it. One cool thing that I did see though is that Dart Zone have a stock design you can download and 3D 3D print if you have access to a 3D printer. Overall, I think without a stock, the Aeon Pro X feels a little large and bulky for a pistol, so I can definitely see a lot of people opting to throw one on there, and I think I would have even chosen to use one myself if I had one to suit it. Now, that stock attachment point looks like it's hiding a little secret underneath. Let's take it off, shall we? If you remove the screws from either side and pull it off, you'll notice the threaded brass inserts where you can mount a sling point. Just kidding. While those are handy to have, the real meat and potatoes here is the quick change spring retainer. Turn it 90 degrees and the spring comes straight out, allowing you to swap in a weaker one or a stronger one to tune your velocity up or down. As for today, I'm going to just put that straight back in because I want to see how it performs straight out of the box. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. First up, of course, is the Chrono Test. The included AF Pro darts first without and then with the included PCAR.
Okay guys, for the Chrono Test today, I'll be using the included AF Pro darts and I'll be testing with and without the rifling attached. First up, no rifling. Let's see how it does. 165, 161, 166, 167, 166, 195, 192, 196, 166, 198, no read, 197, and the last shot, 165. So fairly inconsistent results there. I'm guessing it's because of how short this barrel is compared to the Nexus Pro. But now as I add this rifling on, which should increase the length of the barrel overall, I wonder if it might go up. Here goes. 144, 131, 143, error, 137, 146, error. It's like really hard to aim this thing. 144, 144, 137, because I have to account for how low this barrel is too. 137, see how many errors there were and we'll shoot some more darts. All right, got 3 more darts in there. Let's finish this off. 143, 133, and 130. So that has definitely not improved velocity. In fact, it's dropped it dramatically.
Over the Chrono, without any rifling, it averaged 177 feet per second with velocities all over the place, as low as 161 and as high as 198, giving it a pretty terrible standard deviation of 15. Attaching the included PCAR dropped the velocity by 38 down to 139 feet per second, but the consistency improved to a standard deviation of only 5. My assumption here is that the barrel's just way too short for this blaster. The PCAR evening out the velocity is a dead giveaway, though the PCAR is still drastically lower FPS due to the friction compared to a BCAR. The barrel on this is actually shorter than the Nexus's barrel, and the Nexus itself was also too short of a barrel for it. It actually gained FPS with its BCAR attached. It would have been nice if they included the BCAR instead, but using what was provided in the box, let's move on to the maximum range test with the PCAR attached.
As I head out to the range test, keep in mind there's a claim on the box that this does 45 meters maximum range. So we'll be seeing whether it does that with both AF Pro darts and worker heavies. I've got the included PCAR attached because I think that's what most people will be using with this. And I'm going to stand against this fence here, shooting back down the road, and then I'll use this laser rangefinder once I find all the darts. Let's see how it does. That's all 5 of each, 10 darts total. All right, so here's the AF Pro darts. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just stand in the middle of those. And they went 41 meters, so almost the 45 meter claim on the box. Then we have the worker heavies, one there, which went
46 meters, that beat the claim on the box. Then we have these 4 here, which went even further at 49 meters. Not bad from the Worker Heavies.
For maximum range, AF Pros went 41 meters or 134 feet, making them shorter than the claim on the box. Worker Heavies, however, exceeded that box claim, making it 49 meters or 160 feet. But now let's move on to the accuracy test.
For the accuracy test, as usual, I'll be sitting 30 meters away from my 1 meter diameter target. I have discovered from some practice shots that with the rifling attached, since it does drop the velocity so low, I have to aim up at that fork of the tree, which is like 3 meters above the target, in order to actually hit it. So this is definitely not a blaster you'd want to use from 30 meters away usually. I'd say you probably want to be within about 20 meters to use this. So it is definitely more of a pistol sidearm class blaster. But anyway, let's do the AF Pros first. And I don't think there's any point to show you without the rifling, because we already know rifling works. All right, how high up do I need to aim? Let's go there. Still short. There we go, that was a hit. There's a hit. That might have gone over the top. There we go. That one didn't even make it to the target. White cardboard above, I think. We're going to be shooting from 30 meters away. Definitely don't think AF Pros are the darts to do it. That was almost in the center. And that's all 12 shots. All right, Worker Heavies. I don't think I have to aim as high. There we go. Oh. That's Worker Heavies for you. I could aim a little more to the left, but just to keep everything consistent, I'll stick with where it is now. That's a night and day difference compared to the AF Pros. Which makes sense, because with the NPX, with this rifling, it also didn't like AF Pros. But that's all you get with the Aeon Pro. You don't get the B-car, which works nicer with AF Pros.
From a distance of 30 meters away, aiming halfway up the tree, mind you, the AF Pro shown in red shot a terrible 1.3 meter spread. Just like with the Nexus Pro X, AF Pros don't seem to work well in the P-car, and sadly that's all you get with the Aeon. Worker Heavies, on the other hand, shot a very nice 40 centimeter spread shown in yellow, which was a night and day difference compared to the included AF Pro darts. But now that I've tested it in a Chrono Test, range test, accuracy test, and used it for a day of gameplay, what do I think of the Aeon Pro X overall? From a US perspective, $25 is a bargain for what you're getting. This is the most powerful Nerf pistol on Walmart toy store shelves, and it smokes anything that Hasbro has ever made. It's basically a better Nerf Retaliator straight out of the box. As for the idea of introducing new Nerfers to the hobby by showing them what high performance blasters can actually do, I find the Aeon Pro X a little lacking compared to the Nexus Pro X in that regard. The omission of the B-car from the box means you get AF Pro darts and a P-car, which is a combo that doesn't work very well together. In fact, it may even give users the idea that rifling doesn't do anything for accuracy. Unless of course they happen to have better darts like the Workers, which shot incredibly well out of it. As for us international Nerfers, where this is going to set you back a pretty penny of $100, or you could also also say this is more from a competitive standpoint. I'm personally not a big fan of this blaster compared to the Nexus I reviewed last week. It was a lot harder to get kills with the Aeon being top prime and not having a stock. It made me use it like a pistol, but it's also really large and bulky, making it more of a primary. I think if I had a stock that fitted and also put a sight on it so I could see over the top of my priming hand, I would have had a much less punishing time using it, but it still wouldn't have been anywhere near as effective as a pump action springer like the Nexus. So I'm a little on the fence. I'm not really sure who this blaster is meant to be for. It sits in the mid-ground between a primary and a sidearm, being less effective than a primary and too bulky to be a sidearm. It also does a worse job than the Nexus at introducing new players to the hobby, due to its included pairing of a P-car and AF Pro darts rather than the Dart's own B-car. Still, let me know in the comment section down below whether you would personally run the Aeon Pro X. I did have one user suggest a 3D printed pump action kit for the Aeon, although remembering the Nexus is only $25 more than it in the States, by the time you get someone to print that for you, buy a grip and a stock, you could very well end up have spent more than just buying a Nexus. But maybe I'm missing something here. That's all I have for you today. Like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. Here's 2 other videos you might enjoy, and as always, thank you very much for watching. See ya!